Obviously, you don't expect
Spurs lose tonight in Dallas, 104-99. This is Spurs React on Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI. I'm Chris Duel, along with Michael Bartlett. Right now on the radio, on the Spurs Radio Network, Bill Schoening speaking with Spurs assistant coach Mitch Johnson. We'll listen in on that.
Continue to improve and learn from it and get better at some of that stuff, to some of the self-imposed mistakes.
I've heard Pop say many times that when a team gets out to a big lead early, it's fool's gold. And sometimes
I'm going to bring Michael Bartlett on board here. Here comes Michael.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if we necessarily relax. I just think I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I think we didn't fight when they started making a run. We didn't fight to make the hard play. Sometimes probably took a quick shot, or just weren't quite as locked into some things in transition or defensively.
Jerome Sosa, welcome in.
And whatnot. So
Robert Melissa, welcome in.
There was just a bunch of little things.
This is Spurs assistant Mitch Johnson speaking with Bill right now.
Luka did some stuff that hurt us, and just got to learn from it and try to bounce back here and fight this thing off.
How important is the bench play? Because obviously it was great to get Bryn, back on track. He had 5 threes in this ball game, but overall 41-29, the advantage for Dallas. And going into a lot of games, I know one of the things you want to do is
Cliff, Joe, Rayson, welcome in.
Yeah, and obviously, with Doug being out, it changes our bench dynamic a little bit. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we need a couple more guys to play better, and that's starters and bench included. And you give you tip your cap to them. Their bench did a great job. So you just kind of got to use it as a learning deal and try to move on.
Okay, just your thoughts on the rest of the trip. Obviously, it doesn't get much easier. You got Milwaukee again, but before you end up the trip,
hey, Bill Brendel.
Let me just ask you about the mindset. I know that you guys are trying to stay positive. I know these guys are working hard. They're staying together, but I know you feel like I hear the players say they really need a win.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything, at some point, it validates whatever we're trying to tell these guys at times when, you're so close, you're doing some great stuff and this and that, but, we're in the business of winning and losing, and the guys know that we're all competitive, so no question. So we just got to keep fighting it off and, keep chopping at the wood.
Okay, Mitch, thanks very much for taking the time. We appreciate that, and safe travels, okay?
All right, Bill, thank you.
Thank you. That is Mitch Johnson, assistant Spurs. And again, the Spurs continue the trip as they go to Milwaukee and then off to Indiana on Monday night. So again, Saturday and Monday for the rest of this trip for the Spurs, who fall tonight to the Mavericks, 104-99. We'll have more. Spurs Radio continues in a moment.
All right, that was Bill Schoening. Everyone knew. With Spurs assistant coach Mitch Johnson. I see Bill Brendel says another loss. True. And I know a lot of Spurs fans are freaking out, but 4 straight losses, yes, that's correct. But 4 really good playoff teams, that's also correct, that they played, including the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks. And the Spurs were right there in all 4. Coulda, shoulda won each of those 4 games. You would hope, young team like this, they split those and go 2-2 or get one of them, but they're learning. And they're getting better. And they're better already than I thought they'd be at this point. They haven't been blown out yet. Now, there will be some blowouts this season. There were some blowouts in the Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker era. There were some blowouts in the David Robinson and George Gervin era. But for this sample size of 4 Spurs games, they're playing well. They're just missing at the end with an opportunity to win. Luis Carlos Gonzalez says Spurs all day. I don't care. Leland Bruce, good to see you. Leland says another hard luck loss for the Spurs. Next up, defending champs Milwaukee. At Milwaukee, exactly. Maybe they'll get that one, man. I hope they play well again. And I know you don't love the record. Here's Bill Schoening.
Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification along the San Antonio Spurs Radio Network.
News Radio 1200 WOAI, San Antonio's breaking news, traffic, and weather.
Whataburger, what's next? The Spurs play Milwaukee on Saturday evening. And again, that will be a 7 o'clock tip. We'll be on the air at 6:30 with Spurs Radio Game Night. That game televised by Bally Sports and on Spanish 107.5 with Paul Castro. Bally's got the rest of this road trip and the game against Dallas on Wednesday here at the AT&T Center. Monday at Indiana, 6 o'clock tip, 5:30 air on the Spurs Radio Network, and then Wednesday against the Dallas Mavericks back here at the AT&T Center.
My
remotely broadcast
lens was a
7:30 start on Wednesday night, and that game also televised by Bally Sports. The final 104-99, the Mavericks with the win over the Spurs. Fast break points, 5-4 Spurs. 5 fast break points for San Antonio. For every fast break point the Spurs score this season, the fine folks at Break Check donate $20 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of San Antonio. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at the individual scoring. First of all, for the visitors from the Alamo City, DeJounte Murray, 10 of 17 from the field tonight. Another double-double, 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists tonight for Murray in 36 minutes of play. Among the other starters, Jakob Poeltl, 14 points and 13 rebounds. He also had 2 block shots and 2 assists tonight. 10 points and 5 boards, along with 2 assists for
there you go, Luis.
Johnson just 4.
Get off my lawn.
Lonnie Walker was 5 for 11 from the field. He started in place of Doug McDermott, who's out for at least 3 games with a sore knee. 14 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and 1 steal for Lonnie Walker. Derek White just 4 for 11 from the field. He had 9 points, 7 assists, and a rebound. Devin Vassell off the bench played 27 minutes, 7 points, 5 boards. He was 3 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. Speaking of beyond the arc, good to see Bryn Forbes find the range. 5 of 7 from three-point range.
Tracy Bogert
finishes
what up?
15 points off the bench. Drew Eubanks played 12 minutes. He had 5 points and 5 boards. And Trey Jones played 7 minutes, 2 points, and 3 rebounds for Trey Jones. Keita Bates-Diop played 15 minutes, but missed all 3 of his shots. For the Mavericks, Doncic leads the way with 25 points. He also had 5 assists and 3 rebounds. He had 10 of his 25 in the fourth quarter. Dorian Finney-Smith with 14 points, 11 for Dwight Powell, 6 for Tim Hardaway Jr., although he hit a clutch basket late in the game. 7 points for Reggie Bullock. Off the bench, and this is really the story of the game, Jalen Brunson and Maxi Kleber. Brunson with 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Kleber in 29 minutes, 12 points, 10 boards, and 6 block shots at the defensive end. 4 points and 3 boards for Willie Cauley-Stein and Frank Ntilikina.
Brian Zuniga, I agree with you.
6 points and 4 rebounds. The final score, 104-99. Dallas with the win over the Spurs. Spurs now 1-4, and the Mavericks improve to 3-1. This is Spurs Radio.
All right.
In 1932,
little Bill Schoening there for you. If you're new to the broadcast, the official Spurs React, we just started the video a little bit early. The official Spurs React begins in just a few minutes when Bill wraps up the actual radio broadcast. So you got the Spurs broadcast that Bill does postgame in, and then you've got the conclusion of that broadcast, and then Michael the Butcher Bartlett, and I do Spurs React. If you're wondering why Michael Bartlett is called the Butcher, just call in with a strange take, and you'll learn why. I need to write in. I've got a little scroll at the bottom here. Let me check if he's got one more. Does he have one more? Is this his segment? He's got one more, correct? No, this is me. Okay. All right, thanks.
Come and work together on this show, not a reboot. This is one of the places where we can't be censored. Thank God for what Rush Limbaugh did. Not a remake or a cover. What's old can sometimes be new again. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. We are here for you guys. From the roots of Rush. We're going to keep you engaged and informed and entertained. Middays 11 to 2. Keeping the conversation focused on what really matters on News Radio 1200 WOAI.
From the Spurs Net Center, I'm Chris Duel. Final score tonight from the American Airlines Center in Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks defeat the San Antonio Spurs 104-99. Programming note on the flagship station, Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI, and streaming live video on 1200 WOAI's Facebook page and across social media are Spurs React with Michael Bartlett and myself coming up for you in just a few moments. Let's update the NBA scoreboard first, though. One game currently in progress at the Chase Center in San Francisco. Final minute of the first half. Golden State Warriors leading the Memphis Grizzlies 55-45. Everything else has gone final. 76ers beat the Pistons 110-102. Wizards over the Hawks 122-111. Knicks won in Chicago in a thriller 104-103. That was the Bulls' first loss of the season. They fall to 4-1 now. Jazz beat the Rockets in Houston 122-91. Once again, Spurs React coming at you on 1200 WOAI's Facebook page and across the flagship station 1200 WOAI. After a quick wrap-up from Bill Schoening, where he broadcast remotely tonight from the AT&T Center, Spurs Radio continues in a moment.
The $10 tastemaker from Pizza Hut.
All right.
Favorite sauce, crust, and up to 3 toppings.
Let's
and
see
make the pizza
here.
you've always dreamed of. It's so beautiful. No one out.
Beth Settle. Hello, Beth Settle. I know you.
Whether you're ready to purchase a home, setting up a college fund for your kids, or preparing for retirement. And you deserve peace of mind knowing your home, loved ones, and financial future are protected. At SWBC,
It's rolling on Facebook. I got Facebook up and it's rolling. Yeah, you're currently frozen for some reason.
I have no clue.
Jump out and jump back in. Jump out. Well, and now yeah, jump out and jump back in.
Everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. We're turning your living room into your office and your gym. We're teaching grandma how to video call.
And I might
It's the button on your left, Anna. Okay, your other left.
I might fire up my camera too if you can't get yours going.
You deserve something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan.
We're having some technical issues with Michael Bartlett there. I don't know why.
Restrictions and exceptions may apply. The $10 tastemaker from Pizza Hut. Personalize yours with your favorite sauce, crust, and up to 3 toppings, and make the pizza you've always dreamed of. It's so beautiful. No one out pizzas the Hut. As per offer, not available in some locations. Exclusions apply. Extra charge for pan, not available in stuffed crust.
The final score from Dallas, 104-99. The Mavs will win over the Spurs. The senior director of broadcasting is Mike Kickerillo. Liz Canonas handles commercial traffic along with Leah Resendez. Tonight's broadcast engineer, Sam Walters. Our statistician, Walter Stoops. Next game coming up with the Spurs at Milwaukee, and that will be a 7 o'clock tip on Saturday night. We'll be on the air at 6:30 with Spurs Radio Game Night. As always, follow things Spurs. Follow us on Spurs, Spurs.com, or the Spurs app. Now for our studio producer, and that, of course, is Mike Bartlett, our broadcast host. That is Chris Duel. I'm Bill Schoening.
We got to go pretty quickly. I'm about to go on. Excuse me.
Mavs, Spurs. This has been a presentation.
Oh, hey, that was not working. We got a double Bartlett jam going on.
Spurs Radio Game Night Rewind.
Thank you very much.
AT&T, the game we live for, the codes we live by, and by iHeartMedia. Are you feeling lucky? Well, you should
Thanks.
be. With over 3,300
We've got a double Michael Bartlett camera going on. Bill Brendel, I see what you're saying there. And I'll tell you what, Michael, I'm going to take one of those down. Leave my camera running. I'm going to take the other one down from here, but if yours freezes again, we'll go to the other one.
Well, yeah, because the only thing is because I don't have it plugged in, so I'm getting the.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay. Well, and see, you're freezing on your camera now. See, I see you on. Plug into mine. Use mine, and then I'll take yours down for now.
Discounts, team gear, partner offers, and more. All sent straight to your
All right.
inbox. To become a member,
Yeah, so for now, you're on mine.
Visit spurs.com/fanclub. Season presented by HEB.
Having some technical issues with Michael Bartlett there, but that's okay. Here we come.
Game Night React on the home of the Spurs, Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI.
Tough loss tonight for the San Antonio Spurs in Dallas against the Mavericks. The Spurs lose their fourth in a row, but they're in it to the end like they have been in all four of these games against four very quality playoff-bound NBA teams. Welcome in. This is Spurs React on Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI. I'm Chris Duel, along with Michael the Butcher Bartlett. We are, in addition to being on the airwaves, we are streaming live video on 1200 WOAI's Facebook page and Twitter account, and we're all over the internet tonight. Lots of people already joining us there. If you would like to join us, you are welcome to talk Spurs. This is the place to do it. If you're in San Antonio, the phone number 210-737-1200. If you're outside San Antonio, and I see Taro Kotani, who is really outside San Antonio, joining us from Tokyo, Japan tonight. If you're outside San Antonio, the 800 number is 800-383-WOAI. That's 800-383-9624. And as I mentioned, Taro Kotani, he is the greatest international Spurs fan who has come to San Antonio 16 times from his home in Tokyo to be there. I also see on the live video feed Mary Anthony, the Spurs good luck charm. When she goes to the Spurs games, they usually win. Too bad she wasn't at the American Airlines Center in Dallas tonight. So the Spurs, what a weird game it was. In the first quarter, the Spurs jumped out to a 20-3 lead with 5:15 remaining in the first quarter. The Spurs were up 20-3. They were up 23-3 after a Bryn Forbes three-point shot with 4:45 to play. They were up 25-5, 20-point lead at 25-5 with 3:49 to go in the first quarter. Then the Mavs went on their run. They went on a 16-0 run from there to wind up taking the lead in the second quarter, 30-29. Halftime score, Spurs led at halftime, 49-47. They had their opportunities, especially late in the game, after a DeJounte Murray three-point shot with 1 minute left that cut the lead to 3 at 102.99. Spurs would get the ball back, down 3, Pop called timeout. There were 31.6 seconds remaining on the game clock, 15 seconds on the shot clock, and the Spurs missed two opportunities. Jakob Poeltl missed a floater. The rebound by DeJounte Murray, his putback stopped on the cylinder and fell out, and that was just the kind of night it's been for the Spurs. Close, but no cigar. It's also been that way as well for the Spurs in each of the last 4 games. And when we did Spurs React the other night, after the overtime loss to the Los Angeles Lakers, I saw some Spurs fans freaking out on Facebook Live and calling us here on Spurs React. And I just have to say, and we'll hear from Michael Bartlett here in a moment, they've been in all 4 of these games. This is a very young team. They are learning. They're only going to get better. And yes, they're already getting better. So, yeah, I don't like losing 4 in a row. I don't like the 1-4 record. But you look at this team, and they did this without Doug McDermott, by the way, tonight, a starter out with a sore knee. You look at this Spurs team, and they're getting better all the time. They're better already 5 games in than I thought they'd be going with this youth movement. So they're going to get better and better. You can't freak out about the record, at least not yet. There's a lot of season left. It's an 82-game season, and we've only played 5. And we take on, once again, the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks Saturday night at Milwaukee. Second time already they will have played the Bucks. So let's go to the phone lines. Let's grab your phone calls, get your reaction. I'll give you a couple of numbers from the game, just scoring-wise for the Spurs. Spurs were led in scoring by DeJounte Murray, who had a double-double, 23 points, 10 rebounds for DeJounte Murray, 10 of 17 from the field, 3 of 5 from three-point country. He was phenomenal. Bryn Forbes found his three-point stroke. He went 5 for 7 from three-point country, 15 points for Bryn Forbes. Other Spurs in double figures, Lonnie Walker with 14, Jakob Poeltl with 14, and Keldon Johnson had 10 points in the game tonight as the Mavericks beat the Spurs 104-99. To the phone lines we go, 210-737-1200. Let's go to Morgan. Morgan, you're on Spurs React on 1200 WOAI. Go ahead, Morgan.
Hello. Yeah, I was noticing in the first half, the Spurs had a good first half. They were up 20, and then all of a sudden, the Mavs, they hit threes. It's the NBA, and teams are going to make runs, but Spurs have to find ways to score and stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and Morgan, thanks for the phone call. I think they will. And again, some Spurs fans who aren't seeing the big picture here are really freaking out. And yet, though, as I say that, I see a lot of you, and I see a lot of the comments on Facebook Live tonight. A lot of you get it. A lot of you realize that this is a process. This is a young team that's only going to get better. They're finding themselves. And one of their big hurdles right now is find a way to close, find a way to win. And they've been right there each of the last 4 games and just missed. And I truly believe that's going to come, and that's going to come sooner than later. Back to the phone lines we go as the Dallas Mavericks beat the San Antonio Spurs 104-99. Let's go to Caesar. Caesar, you're on Spurs React. Welcome, Caesar.
Yeah, my problem is the 12th pick when they picked Primo. I don't know why they didn't go after somebody that can help them right off the bat. He's a couple of years off on the D League. He's going to be on the D League. They didn't get no help at all. They could have got a better pick on that 12th pick. That's my problem with that. And I think that's Popovich's fault for not getting somebody better that can come in and help them.
All right, Caesar, thanks for the call. And we'll talk to Michael Bartlett. We'll ask him that specifically about 18-year-old Josh Primo out of Alabama by way of Canada. Again, Caesar, and for anybody else tonight, I have a hard time second-guessing Coach Gregory Charles Popovich, second-guessing R.C. Buford and the Spurs brain trust. You look at what they have done over all of these years in San Antonio, and even this team right here, this young Spurs team, this youngest team ever under Greg Popovich, 4 nights in a row, 4 games in a row against playoff-bound teams, including the NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks. They're in it all 4 quarters. They're playing all 4 quarters. They had an opportunity to win at the end of each one. So, Caesar, I respectfully disagree with you. And, are you going to say that in 4 years when Josh Primo is 22 and could be an NBA All-Star? When the Golden State Warriors got some kid named Steph Curry, who a lot of people, he had a big NCAA tournament, but, came from kind of a smaller college. Is this Steph Curry kid going to translate that? Yes, he is. So will Klay Thompson, and so will Draymond Green. Those guys were built from the ground up by the Golden State Warriors, and there was a time when they were young and learning too. Before I go to Michael, I'm going to go to one more phone call before Michael Bartlett. Final phone call of the night will be Veronica. Veronica, you're on Spurs React on 1200 WOAI. Welcome, Veronica.
Hey, Chris. Hi, Mike. Thanks for taking my call. I just want to say some people have short-sighted and they want things to happen automatically. I think give it even half the season, and Primo will be back in. He'll be coming off the bench and hitting threes like it's candy. But I don't think Pop makes really bad mistakes. When he chooses people and you kind of wonder at first, and after about a season or so, you see, oh, okay, now I understand. So I really don't worry when Pop does something. I think, I know a lot of people think he's too old and he's, going downhill or whatever, but I don't see that. I see the Spurs coming back. We only need 25 more wins for him to be the winningest coach ever, and it's going to happen by the end of the season. Go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go. Veronica, we always enjoy your phone calls, and yeah, I am amazed, before we go to Michael Bartlett, at those Spurs fans, and they're the minority, but they're a very vocal minority who criticize Coach Greg Popovich. Have you been watching this team since the late 1990s? Have you watched the 6 trips to the finals? Have you watched the 5 championships? Have you watched what he's done with this young team the last couple of years? Went to the play-in game last year, knocking on the door of the playoffs, and these last 4 games just playing very, very well against Milwaukee, the Lakers, the Denver Nuggets, and the Dallas Mavericks. I think he's doing a magnificent job, and I think other coaches with this very same lineup would not be seeing the success that A, we see now just from a playing standpoint, and B, that we will see wins and losses wise as the season progresses. Let's welcome in the man who makes the entire broadcast go from beginning to end. He is Michael Bartlett. Michael, your thoughts on tonight's game and your thoughts on the 4-game losing streak that has so many Spurs fans freaking out?
Well, this is something that we honestly expected. Well, not expected, but could have seen coming. As you said, it's you know, the youngest Pop has
a young team. You know, the youngest Pop has had in quite some time. I believe the youngest.
It's people that are kind of, I guess,
if not
that they're playing right now,
that are kind, I guess,
been in every single game. There has not been one game to where they're getting blown out. It's them competing 48 minutes. We talked about it after, game 1, game 2. They're going to have to find a way to win. That's what young teams have to do in order to, progress. You see it a lot of times with a lot of the young teams, in Oklahoma City, the Houston Rockets, Sacramento. They're young teams that have to learn how to win. They have to, get the bumps and bruises in order to understand what they need to do better, to win tight ball games. There'll be some people that look at it as, at the beginning, they were up 20, in the first quarter, within the first couple minutes. But that's fool's gold. It's fool's gold to sit here and think, well, they let a 20-point lead get away. Yeah, but it's within the first 5 to 6 minutes of the ball game. A team can come out cold, which the Dallas Mavericks did. They closed out the quarter to get it within 10. They have to learn how to be able to, when they need a bucket, who are they going to go to? Because that's the one thing we haven't early on figured out, who our quote unquote closer is going to be. They have to be more consistent all across the board. DeJounte nearly had another triple-double tonight. He played well, leading scorer for the Spurs at 23. You're seeing Jakob Poeltl step up as far as points-wise. Another double-double for Jakob at 14 and 13. Lonnie started out slow, but started to pick up late. And then, you get Bryn Forbes, who finally knocked the rust off, got 15 points. Other than that, it's kind of a ho-hum with some of these other points. Yes, Devin Vassell has 27 minutes, 7 points. He's in his second year. I'm not expecting the world out of Devin, but we've seen glimpses. Keldon Johnson got in foul trouble early in the game, only winds up with 10 points. Keldon's got to do better as far as shooting. Keldon, that's the one knock I have on Keldon, is his shooting is not great. A lot of the times he will drive to the basket, and throw up kind of maybe an unorthodox layup, but not necessarily draw a foul. Free throw shooting, again, 9 of 15, 60% from the free throw line. Derek White, only 9 points. I know Derek, provides other things for this team, but Derek's got to be able to step up a little bit more. But the bench, unfortunately tonight, it killed us for the Dallas Mavericks. Jalen Brunson and Maxi Kleber combined had 31 points, outscore our whole bench. So on a team where you and I are used to the bench being, I would say, more of the staple for this team over the past couple of years. We rely on our bench so much. We've got to be able to get more production. And granted, Dougie McBuckets was out tonight, so you're missing those points from McDermott in the starting lineup, where you would, flip Lonnie's minutes into the bench would help. But there's progression in every game. There is progression in every game. This was probably, out of all the games so far, if you look at it statistically wise, probably the worst, because they only shoot 44% from the field, but shoot 40% from three. So it's going to take time. It's not a quick fix. Again, people, we've been privileged for the past 20 plus years for an organization that has been competing day in and day out for a title. This was going to happen eventually. Every team in the NBA, every team in sports goes through this. It's not a quick fix. Like, Veronica said, we're going to have to take bumps and bruises, but you at least like what you're seeing from the young guys. The young guys are competing. There's no quit in this team. They could honestly be undefeated right now if you want to be optimistic, because they're not beating themselves. It's just they're not able to close out these games and find ways to win. But that will happen because, like you have stated, in Pop, we trust.
In Pop, we trust. Yes, indeed. We say that in San Antonio, and in Houston, they say, in Dusty, we trusty. So I kind of like that. Go Astros tomorrow night, game number 3. Spurs fans, Spurs are going to do this again. They're going to try again against another great team. They're going to Milwaukee for Saturday night's game. That is a 7 o'clock tip-off, just after 7 o'clock at the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. That means we'll have Spurs radio game night with the voice of the San Antonio Spurs, Bill Schoening, at 6:30 on Saturday night. And the Spurs will hopefully get it going against Milwaukee, a team that they played hard and took down to the wire just 1 week earlier. It was last Saturday night that Milwaukee was here in San Antonio. Once again, the final score from Dallas: the Dallas Mavericks defeat the San Antonio Spurs 104-99. For the great Bill Schoening, in his 21st year as the radio voice of the San Antonio Spurs, his on-site engineer, Sam Walters, veteran statistician Walter Stoops. For those gentlemen and the man you just heard, Mr. Michael Bartlett, I'm Chris Duel. There will be another night, and that is Saturday night against the Milwaukee Bucks. You've been listening to Spurs React on Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI. Adios, everybody. Go Spurs, go. Go Astros. And
so it died. I think it's just bad connection or in here.
WOAI on
we'll work on it.
radio.
All right, y'all. See you later. I will be on my show tomorrow morning.
What I'm going to have to do, though, is I'm definitely going to have
Tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 a.m., I will be on my show on Ticket 760. Join us there. Lots of World Series talk. Lots going on. Adios.